Battlers, I am back. Welcome to another episode of the Knighted Podcast Match Rewind Edition, brought to you by our good mates at Audra Solar. Now, if your electricity bill has been putting you under more pressure than the Tigers put us under for 80 minutes, well, I tell you what, it's time for you to look at solar. Audra Solar are local, family-owned and operated, servicing Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, and the Hunter, Port Stephens, and the Central Coast, baby. They handle solar installs, battery storage, and EV chargers, and everything is done by qualified, solar-accredited electrician, no contractors, no pushy sales team. Every system is custom designed to your home. And they'll even come out and give you a free on-site quote. So what do you got to lose? Head over to Audra Solar. That's AUDRA solar.com.au, or give them a call at 1300 104 914. And you'll see why the locals just keep giving them the 5-star reviews. Audra Solar, powering homes across the Hunter the right way. Well, Battlers, what would seemingly be another cathartic episode tonight? That's right. What was to be the rumble in the jungle ended up being the fumble, the humbling in the jungle, with the Knights suffering their second defeat of the season at the hands of Benji Marshall's West Tigers at Campbelltown Stadium this Sunday. After a late flurry of tries from the Newcastle Knights to somewhat make the scoreline a little bit more respectable, don't get it twisted, the West Tigers were completely and utterly dominating us that football game. Wasn't a very good watch, a bit of a tough watch. Shout out to everyone who joined me on the on the Knights watch for that one. But still plenty of talking points to come out of that game regardless. Now, look, not only will we be breaking down that game, we'll be taking a look at your Titanium Forge Player of the Week, brought to you by LGB Marine. We'll also be giving you my Paycat Knighted Players of the Week and answering your Get Out Alive fire safety training burning questions. So, Battlers, sit back, get ready, as we take a look at the Justin Holbrook outlook of our round 6 clash against the West Tigers, baby. Let's go! All right, now this is a very good chew on that. Now I'm going to need your help on this one, Battlers, and you don't even know what I'm going to do here, Lou. Do you know what I'm sick and tired of, Louise? I am sick and tired of our team suffering injuries. I'm over it. Now, what seemingly worked the first time is you and I sage the bar. But you know what I think? I think we need to go another level up, and I'm going to get the Battlers to join me on this one. Now, look, I've got the sage, baby. I've got the lighter. I'm doing this live on air, and you're going to do it with me. A little chant. We're going to sing it together a few times to try and dispel this absolute bullshit fucking injury curse that we've currently got. So we're lighting the sage. The sage has been lit, Battlers. Say it with me. Out with the curse, out with the pain. Let the Knights be whole again. Say it with me. Out with the curse, out with the pain. Let the Knights be whole again. One more time, Battlers, the top of your lungs. Out with the curse, out with the pain. Let the Knights be whole again, baby.
Even the pick of destiny.
Oh, it's got to happen. Seriously. It started in Vegas. Kalen Ponga, Dylan Brown, Fletcher Sharp even gets smashed with a little bit of an injury. Then we compound it. Bradman Best, news coming out, Dylan Lucas and Tyson Frizzell. What is doing? Unfair. We copped it last year. I don't know what's going on. I'm seriously getting superstitious. I think there's someone out there with little voodoo dolls taking the piss. And I want answers. We're getting superstitious here. So just keep that Is it an incantation? A chant? I don't even know what you call it.
That's it.
Is that what it is? Just keep saying it. Keep manifesting it. We're going to push this curse out together, Battlers. No more. We've had our fill. Sick and tired of it.
We've got Lee on it.
Good. Keep it going. Keep it going the whole show. Everyone, if you're in your car, just keep repeating it. It's going to happen. We're going to manifest it.
That smells good.
It does smell good.
Like
so
hope.
I've got a little bowl of water here. So I think that's enough for now because it is quite strong. I don't want to be high on sage for the whole show. So I'm going to extinguish the sage. But yes, Go chew on that, injuries. And I tell you what, if you're going to chew on something absolutely bloody elite with flavors that'll hit you harder than a front road forward, baby. And that's right. Beach jerky, quality beef jerky. All right. Proper game day fuel, battlers. So make sure you head across to beachjerky.net. Go grab yourself a bag. Seriously elite stuff by some local Newy boys. Get around it. All right, battlers, if you're watching the live stream right now, make sure you go pound that thumbs up button, baby. What are you doing? Helps us out. And wherever you're wasting your time on social media, go find us. Go give us a follow. Go subscribe. Go give us a 5-star review. All right. That's what you're going to do for us. Now, if you still want to do more for us and you want to support us here tonight, you can do so by clicking in the show notes. Find our Patreon link. Come on in for as little as $5 per month, baby. I tell you what, if you want to come into the exclusive Club Nitanium Discord channel, $10 a month, baby, and you're in. But you fancy yourself as a bit of a punter, all right, a bit of a goer, a bit of a winner, a bit of a Nostradamus. Well, I tell you what, $25 a month, baby, you're into the Lock It In Championship, and you're going to go in the running for the championship belt. All right, our boy Brody, he's going to try and build a dynasty, and it's up to you to stop him. $25 a month, baby, you are in. I don't think any of us were going to predict what happened this week, but that's the Lock It In Championship for you. Anything could possibly happen. But there you go. All right, let's do it. Let's take a little look at some news this week, battlers.
It's a night in news.
All right. Unfortunately, battlers, some more injury news, and it doesn't get any easier on all of us. Dylan Lucas news coming out today. He's expected to miss between 4 to 6 weeks. If we thought the ruptured spleen was an absolute freaky enough injury, a throat injury. The bloke has copped an elbow to the throat. That sounds fucking horrible. No idea how he played through the game. But yeah, that sucks big time. 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, wow. Another big blow. Super, super unfortunate. We know the left edge this week got absolutely torched. It's going to be another headache for Justin Holbrook for team list being named next week. Bradman Best also not there. So compounding that problem even further. But yeah, it just sucks. This guy obviously missed a huge chunk of the 2025 season. We dearly missed him after succumbing to that foot injury. So yeah, thoughts and prayers with our boy Dylan Lucas. Let's hope he doesn't come back sounding like Anthony Seibold. That would suck. Let's hope he comes back and sounds just as sweet as ever. We don't want Darren Lockyer, Anthony Seibold kind of vibes after getting whacked in the throat. So that one sucks, but it doesn't get any better. Battlers, unfortunately, Tyson Frizzell also picking up an injury in that game, succumbing to a rib injury. Did not look good at all. Failed to finish the rugby league football game. Now, look, no prognosis as of yet, as of going live. If that has changed, please drop something in the comments and let me know. But yeah, I guess scans and whatnot, have to wait and see the severity of his injury. But yeah, just another blow. He was a guy that, was playing some really good football, winding back the clock. Tyson Frizzell. So going to be really testing our forward depth with his absence. He's been doing really, really well as co-captain coming off the bench. So yeah, not great news there, battlers, but I tell you what, a little bit of good news. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. It's official, baby. He's locked in. He's coming 2027 to 2029. Marata Niokore is coming, or I like to call him Hakuna Marata Niokore. No, Hakuna Niokore. Does that make sense?
Kinda.
It sounded better in my head.
Sorry,
Anyways.
I stuffed up these graphics too.
Oh, did you? You got them all mixed up. Anyways, don't stress. Yeah, look, it's official. Now, look, don't get your hopes up unless something seemingly miraculous comes out of nowhere. He's not going to be coming to the Knights. All the top 30 spots completely and utterly filled. This is just a really good signing for both clubs. Obviously, the Wars, who are getting the job done at the moment. Shout out to them, just absolutely obliterating the Storm at Amy Park. They're stacked. They've got so many young guys coming through the ranks. This eases up a spot so they don't lose one of those young guys. We get a quality experience forward to our club. Just a win-win scenario as far as I'm concerned with the Marata Niokore. So
With that, I do have a voicemail from Wilma.
Wilma, what do we got, Wilma?
G'day, Link and Lou. It's Wilmer again, just for the burning questions. The next 5 games, I dare say, will solidify our season. I dare say. I know it's early, but still, we're getting into that part of the season, and we're going up against. We got Penrith.
My bad. I've played the wrong one.
Oh,
Never
sorry.
mind.
What's the other Wilmer? Go back. It's all right. We'll go back to that one. We'll circle back to that one. What do you got?
I think I accidentally deleted it.
Oh, no. What was it about, Murata Niokore? I've
Yes.
given you my thoughts about Murata Niokore.
Asking if it's a good signing, and he just said that we're all hurting.
We are all hurting at the moment, and I believe it is a good signing. Now, I haven't seen any dollar figures thrown around at the minute. But yeah, I think there is some trepidation. A lot of people are seemingly thinking that it might come at the cost of either Jermaine McEwen or Dylan Lucas, both off contract next year, November 1, looming. Yeah, so look, I think if I'm being honest, I think it screams more of a replacement spot for Tyson Frizzell at the moment. I don't think the club's offering Tyson another year. This could seemingly be his farewell tour. That's the tea leaves I'm kind of reading. But yeah, I'm certainly hope it's not going to come at the cost of either Jermaine McEwen or Dylan Lucas. But let's wait and see for that one. Battlers, but yeah, so some little bit of good news. Sorry, it couldn't be all good news. Some shitty injury news, but anyways, we've got a signing news thrown in the mix there too. All right, let's do it. Let's dive into the game that was with the Newcastle Knights being completely and utterly destroyed by the West Tigers, 42 points to 22. A scoreline that I feel like flatters us, if I'm going to be honest. A late flurry of tries, like I mentioned earlier, somewhat closed the gap. The fact that this is only a 20-point different game is actually wild. But look, let's hear from our coach first. We're going to play a little excerpt, some answers that our coach Justin Holbrook gave on the press conference after the game was played.
Yeah, definitely. We gave them a lot of ball, gave them some soft sort of penalties, and yeah, they're a good footy side, especially when they're attacking. And yeah, we made it way too hard on ourselves and weren't good enough. Yeah, as you mentioned, we've started the season well, but yeah, we were well off tonight. And full credit to the Tigers, they played really well, and yeah, we've got to regroup. Yeah, just want us to play our footy and work harder. Obviously, we had no ball, but that was our own doing, and we've got to work harder to swing that around. And I thought the boys, really dug in there in the second half. We still, we're defending our line still a hell of a lot. And I know the game was gone, but it's important how we finish for pride in our jersey and our fans to not give in. I think that's the thing we probably learnt the most over a couple of losses. I thought the Warriors one, we just sort of knew we couldn't win and didn't show enough fight. And today we fought to the end, and yeah, it's a good learning curve. Credit to the Tigers, they got some early calls, put us under pressure, got some points on the board, and we couldn't, we were into a really strong breeze, but we couldn't get ourselves into the game. So, it's going to be hard to be at your best every week, and we learn a hard lesson today. When you're not, you're in trouble in this comp. So we learned that today.
There you go. Strong words by our coach, Justin Holbrook. Sums up pretty nicely, I feel. Now, first topic I really want to touch base on tonight. We're going to go into bat for our boy Wilson DeCourcy, because he's absolutely not to blame for us losing this football game, all right? And it's something I want to address, and something I've seen plenty online after the game, and honestly, I think it is completely and utterly off the mark. There's been just this huge pile on this poor 20-year-old bloke, and I'm not having it. Now, did Wilson have the best game? No. Was he perfect? Absolutely not. But if you're watching that game and walking away thinking he's the reason we've lost, I tell you what, you're missing the point completely. That is not how rugby league football works in a game like we just watched. Losses like that don't come down to one player. They come from a breakdown across the park. Missed tackles, poor yardage, lack of control, poor decision-making. And that's on the whole team. And there's a whole lot of players out there, battlers, that have played 50, 100, 150-plus games. So why are we singling out Wilson DeCourcy? Because this is a 20-year-old in one of the toughest positions to play in the NRL. He's learning on the run in a high-pressure NRL game. in a team that didn't really fire around him. So instead of knocking him, let's back him. All right. Now people want to hang him out to dry. That's not how you build up a player. That's how you break them, battlers. And here's the reality. When he becomes the player that we know he's capable of being, it's because of the people that supported him, not the people that tried to tear him down. If we're going to make something accountable, let's make the team standards accountable across the entire team, not just one 20-year-old rookie. Let's back him. Let him respond, all right? And let's judge how he bounces back from this game, battlers, all right? Let's stick up for our boy Wilson.
Let's stick up for him with some voicemails from the battlers.
All right, let's go.
Hey guys, I just want to say, yeah, I know it's a loss. It was one of them losses where you can't really. We're just on the back foot from the get go. There's not much really we can do. We can't start bashing our players and stuff like that. And I think everyone in that team deserves to be there, one way or the other. Whether they've given good performances up until now, I think every player on that team deserves a shot. I feel for the young centre, De Courcy. He'll learn. He'll get better. He's only 19, guys. Let's not bash on him too much. Centre's a hard position to play. Very, very hard with defensive reads. So I think they just picked the weaker side and they just exploited us. Greg Imaju with a few bad reads, but we all know that about Greg. We all know that about he's not the best defender, but what he gives us in attack is very important. Against the Roosters, we'll have Dill Brown back. He's a leader. He'll shore the ship up a bit, and hopefully we'll be back. Sharpie's got to stay 5'8", and I'd believe in Hunt there in fullback until Ponga gets back. I think he deserves it. And Sharpie needs to stay 5'8" if he's going to be a 5'8". Needs to stay. The combos need to work together. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nico.
Well said, Nico. Always very well spoken, our boy Nico. Good for you, mate. Good stuff.
The third time he's gotten first voicemail.
Has he?
Too, yeah.
What a hot streak Nico's on. Bit of form in Nico. Nice one, mate. Perfect, mate. You summed it up beautifully, mate. 100%.
Got another one from Nitanium Mullets from Discord.
What a name.
Cheers, De Courcy had a rough day in the office, the poor bugger. I hope we'll see more of him in first grade this year. I reckon he's a real gun player. He's been carving it up in cup. I think there was a game recently where he scored a hat-trick even, or it might have been 2 tries and a handful of try assists as well. Stuff to work on for him, but not the end of the world by any means. I hope it hasn't affected his confidence too much. Confidence was kind of the thing I wanted to touch on by calling in. I noticed that the Knights, usually last year and even in years prior, would retreat within themselves after a first half, like the one that we had over the weekend. But they seem to rally really well, and especially towards the end. Could just be the Tigers' fatigue, but seeing them hang in there, execute, and put on some points was really heartening, even in the face of a loss. Holbrook saying in the press conference after, I believe, that he instructed them to do it for the fans. That's pretty fucking good. Build that man a statue. Cheers.
The Holbrook statue already. Love it. I love that Nitanium Mullets. No, you're right. Look, maybe the jury's out whether the Tigers had a little bit of a cue in the rack towards the end of that game, but I would like to think that we were a little bit more hungry, and it was pleasing to see. And we heard the comments from Justin Holbrook in the press conference saying, the second half, he was pleased that we never gave up the fight. It was evident we never gave up. I still breaks my heart. I stood in this very spot, very critical of some performances at the end of last year where it was very evident that we had just thrown in the towel. The spoon was inevitable. We were just getting blown off the park, and that's what we saw. But what we went up against, look, full credit to the Tigers. They played the near perfect game. Like, if you're going to play the perfect rugby league game, that was pretty darn close. Statistically, I'll get to that. Very, very lopsided. And they were just completely, utterly dominant. They just had momentum, and we just lacked the ability to wrestle back momentum. Unlike other games that, we'd played this year, when there were momentum swings or we could absorb pressure and sort of swing momentum back our way, we just couldn't. And they were just all over us, and we just got gassed way too quick. Now, look, yeah, we did win the second half. I think, didn't we outscore them 18 points to 14? So might be a little minor victory there. You know, you got to take everything that you can get in rugby league football. But yeah, look, it was pleasing to see. The boys never gave up. They showed fight to the end. They just went up against a team that right from the get-go. And what did I say in the roster review show? This game was going to be won by a team that came in and kept their standards, because both teams had set such a high standard, were full of confidence and full of belief and red-hot form. It was whoever's going to bring that and hold that standard the highest was going to win this football game. Unfortunately for us, we did not. We were nowhere near it, nowhere near the intensity that we saw, beat the teams like the Bulldogs and the Raiders convincingly, unfortunately. And that was what was so disappointing. That's why I was so excited for this football game. And I'm going to be brutally honest, I wouldn't have minded so much if we lost this game, given that the plethora of injuries that we do have. If we went toe-to-toe with a rampaging Tigers down in Campbelltown, and we just went toe-to-toe with them and gave it our all and left it our all out there, you could walk away with it. It was a bit disappointing. We came out really flat. I think they were up 16-0 in the first 16 minutes. There were just danger signs immediately. Even our first couple of attacking sets, I think Sandon put a grubber in. Not one Knights player even cooey. It just looked completely disjointed, no cohesion. The eye test just didn't look good, and that's why I was so skeptical. Coming into the second half, I know at the moment the Volandi's kind of brand of football at the moment, 10 points of the first battle who could put it in. I think this was the second highest scoring round of all time. Like, there has just been the scoring is just unbelievable. Like, the momentum swing is absolutely huge at the moment, the way the game's been going. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. What was I talking about, Lou?
While you think of that, I'll play a voice.
I'm too busy thinking about Volandi's ball.
Oh, well, what can we say about that one? Not much. I feel like, the issue in the centres there, I'm not going to bring it up because obviously brand new player, not really someone that needs to take that flack. But, if Best was playing, definitely would have been a different experience. But we're also missing, a couple of $1 million worth of players out of our lineup, which, massive difference to our team once everything starts rolling back in, and hopefully we can keep people fit. 4 wins out of 6 games is very, very good, and we should, at least as fans, be quite happy with that considering last year. But yeah, that game definitely had flavours of 2025 and some other years where we had some other wooden kitchen utensils given to us. So let's try and stay out of that bucket and stay in the top 8, boys. Let's go. Upper Knights.
Let's go, Sneddon. Yeah, nice one, brother. Yeah, you're right. I think I found my train of thought once more, and I think what I was trying to get to was, I think, inevitable is not the right word, but is it unsurprisingly maybe, just maybe, that a loss like this, maybe Justin Holbrook not that he wanted or foresaw, but after 2 really high-intensity games coming in a little bit flat, because at the moment, the way the game's going, even if you're 5% off, your line speed drops off, contact, you lose a bit of sting in your contact, intent just isn't quite as sharp as it should be. That spirals very quickly. And that's why I was a bit skeptical. Now I remember what I was talking about, Lou, on the Knights watch, when a lot of people going, it can happen. We can wrestle this game back and chase down this lead. But I was like, man, that was just so much pressure and just so one-sided. I don't know how we got the energy, how we got it in the tank, because on one hand, we would have been absolutely gassed. The amount of defense and just retreating continually would have taken out of us. Compared to the West Tigers, they were just running downhill. Their tanks are more than full. They got the perfect half of football. They'd be going into the sheds ready to go. We're just gassed. And when you're in a scenario like that, you're not in the fight. You're kind of reacting to the game. You're just doing everything you can to stem the bleeding, and we're all just hoping and praying it didn't get to 50 points, which thank the heavens it did not. It could. As I said, I put out a video earlier. It could be worse. I know there's a big dose of perspective. We could have got 50 points handed to us at home at the hands of the Titans. That would have really sucked. Imagine doing a Parramatta podcast at the moment. Huh? Looking at you, Adam. Yeah, that'd be fucking tough. But let's do it. I've been avoiding it. We're going to do it. We're going to have a look at some statistics from this game. This isn't easy, battlers, because Matty G would be eating this up, Lou, at the moment, because this is pretty damning for the Newcastle Knights. Let's take a look at the team stats now. Possession, just right off the bat, 57% possession to the Tigers. Only 43% for the Newcastle Knights. 223 runs for a total of 2,177 metres for the Tigers. For the Knights, only 153 runs for 1,313 metres, which is huge. Post-contact, the Tigers managing 735 to our 416. 46 tackle breaks to our 29. The average set distance wasn't the rolling joke of the Knights watchers. If I see 36 metres gained one more time on the screen every time the Newcastle Knights would complete a set, well, we completed on an average of 38.6. The West Tigers' average set distance was 50 metres. It was so evident. It was seriously like that. They were running twice as many metres every set. That's how dominant. They were twice as effective running the football than the Newcastle Knights. Like, I just don't know how you stop that. When it's been like that for an entire half, boy, oh boy, that's hard to come back from. Kick return meters, 261 to our 75. Offloads, 15 to 9. The list goes on and on and on. Where else have I got? 46 missed tackles. The Tigers have 29. 11 errors apiece. It's just the damage that the forwards did. They just absolutely torched us. Who's got the leading run meters for the West Tigers? Where are you? Adam Dewey, 230. Terrell May, 227. Jerome Buller, 191. Taruva, 188. Patrick Herbert, 184. Pole, 182. So, yeah, they just absolutely well and truly torched us. And as I was saying before, it was very evident very quickly that they were on and we were completely and utterly off the mark.
Got another voicemail. This one from Justin.
Hey Link, hey Lou, hey fellow battlers. I'll keep this as PG as I can.
Oh, here we go.
I don't want to be putting any more money into the swear jar. This game was an absolute putrid piece of poop. We offered nothing in defense, offered nothing in attack. This was not the team that we saw last week against the Raiders, and it wasn't the team that we saw against the Bulldogs. We should have been up for this game. We should have been competing at 100%. We should have been playing like the Knights of old. I don't care if we lose. We're going to lose games. But just compete. Just give it everything you've got. Leave it on the field. And these tries late in the game feels like last year where, we'd wait till the last 10 minutes and we put on some points, and it's just pathetic. Time to go back to the drawing board and pick Schiller. DeCourcy, don't blame him. Don't hate on him. Young kid. Give him time to go back and take his learnings and his lessons. But yeah, we were so much better than this. We are so much better than this. Come on, Newcastle. Seriously. Aim up. Shape up. Let's go.
Oh, he's hurting a little bit. He's hurting a bit. Now, look, on reflection, it did suck. And I was just disappointed because I just wanted to see the Justin Holbrook team go toe-to-toe against another good team. But, look, it wasn't great. It was a tough watch, but I certainly don't think this is going to be like a defining game. We saw it against the Wars, and we responded really, really well. And maybe this is it's a new regime. Again, big injuries. We were up for 2 games. We're just going to take some time to get that level of that standard set. All right, let that bar set. Justin Holbrook's just got into the building. What are we? 4 wins, 2 losses. So if anyone had told most people that that's where the Newcastle Knights would be at this time of the year, you'd probably be laughed at. So we'll definitely take that. So not the end of the world. We're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. It's, we're not needing to blow anything up or anything crazy like that. And I think most people aren't thinking that. There's probably some emotional battlers out there that have got some wounds from 2025. I'm certainly not akinning this to anything like we saw in 2025. We saw the fight there for long periods of time. It's just, at the end of the day, we didn't turn up and show anywhere near as much intent or energy as the Tigers did. Like, I packed out Campbelltown Stadium. They just look red hot. They look so super confident, red hot form. They're second on the ladder for a reason. Kudos to those guys. Benji Marshall, I was so skeptical. Honestly, I think a lot of us were skeptical that Benji Marshall, this untried coach at the Tigers of all places, could get this out of him. When you got premiership winners like Madge Maguire or Ivan Cleary who couldn't turn the ship around, Benji Marshall getting the job done. So, yeah, look, let's not get too emotional about it all. I'm sure we're going to walk out of this show feeling a little bit better. All right, we're going to take some learnings from it. All right, and we're going to apply it, and we're going to be better for it moving forward. So,
There's a voicemail from our mate Paddy.
Paddy, what do you got, brother?
Hey, Link, Lou, Battlers, Legends. Look, I missed the game. Thank fuck. I was listening to some of your watch along Link on the way home from a gig, and it got a bit dark, so I turned it off. Watched a few highlights.
Sorry, mate.
I wouldn't worry too much, honestly. Like, some of the scores that are getting put on teams at the start of this year is pretty crazy. It's so up and down. Every team's going to have a bit of a shocker every 5 or 6 weeks. So, yeah, I think the key is just how we bounce back. And we won that second half. We didn't shit the bed and let them put 60 on us. So, I think there's some positives to take away. It was honestly just that first 15 to 20 minutes. So, heads up, Battlers, and let's fucking beat these chooks into the fucking dirt.
What a cool and calm and collected bit of commentary from Pat.
Paddy's always like that.
Good on you, mate. You've honestly hit the fucking proverbial nail on their head. As I said, the Volandis ball at the moment, which is just a high-scoring affair. We've seen it everywhere. There's no cause for alarm. Had this been an outlier game and we hadn't seen big scores like this, you'd be a bit of trepidation. But I think you're right. It's probably not going to be that uncommon to have a team. As I said before, you've only got to be about 5% off in this. In the toughest game, the most highly competitive, physical game on the planet, 5% off, and it's huge. And when that swing came, as you mentioned, 16-0 in 16 minutes, that's hard to wrestle back, man, against a good team. Maybe in hindsight, had I was there, maybe I was just too down in the dumps. I do get emotional, and I do need to reflect on things. Maybe Kalen Ponga and Dylan Brown bring that back a little bit. I was more so just thinking the forwards were just getting absolutely monstered this game. Like, what do we got here from our boys in the middle? Trey Mooney, 117 run meters. It's JSAF, 117 run meters. Like, Mooney only 49. Like, in comparing that to what I just read out for the West Tigers, they just got absolutely obliterated. But yeah, you're right. As I said before, no need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's all good. Let's take a collective breath. All right, it's going to be okay. We just got to take some learnings from this, and I'm sure, just like we did the Wars game, we praised Justin Holbrook for coming out the other side and not overcorrecting the team and just simplifying a couple of things and getting the boys back on the straight and narrow. He's done it before, not that long ago. I'm sure he can do it once more against the team. His old team against the Roosters. I think he knows a thing or two about the Roosters. So, I think we're all good. We're all good. There's certainly no one hitting the panic button at the moment. If there are any battlers smashing the panic button, I urge you not to do so. There's no need to panic at the moment. Can't stress that enough. It is a little bit cathartic, and we were down in the dumps a little bit. But as I said, I was just more disappointed more than anything, because I just wanted to see us go against a good team at our best. But anyways, all right, we got any more, Lou?
Yes, we've got one from Chris.
Chris.
Hi, Link, Lou, and Battlers. Well, disappointed for the loss today because we always want to win, but we just got outplayed today. We started poorly, got out-muscled in the middle, and you can't just blame any one player. We just were poor today. That's all you can say. But compared to where we were last year, still got some hope. I mean, I still think we've got a good side there. This is just 1 week, long season to go. So have faith, Battlers. Stick with them because I think we're still in a good spot. So disappointed, yes, but long season. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Isn't this just refreshing now that we can have games like this and everyone's like, don't panic. It's all good. I'm loving it. That just goes to show the fundamentals of our club at the moment, and we're all feeling it. We're all buying in. The players are buying into what Justin Holbrook's selling, and so are we. So it's very encouraging, even what would seemingly be dark times, because we're scarred. If there's any supporter base at the moment that should feel a little bit rattled, who has got a little bit of PTSD when it comes to results like this, it's us Knights supporters, given what we went through last year. So the fact that we can sit back and confidently say, don't worry, it's all good, don't stress, and not singling out anyone. And we're just going, the whole team was just off. Very mature. I'm very proud of you, Battlers. Good stuff.
Justin said, thanks for the Knighted hotline. It's definitely cathartic.
It is cathartic, mate. We want it to be more reveling than cathartic. I think reveling. I think we've put that in people's verbatim more and more now. I love that word. We love reveling in victory here at the United. We want it to be more of certainly a celebratory, reveling kind of a hotline, more than a cathartic one. But it is there for you guys whenever you need it, whatever you need it for. I said 24 hours. You're lying in it. Seriously, if you're lying there in the middle of the night, I've had this happen to me. I wish I had an outlet like this sometimes. And I can't sleep. I'm so filthy. I go back to round 2 of 2024 against the Cowboys, and I was filthy. I couldn't sleep. I was so physically angry. I was on TikTok searching, how do I deal with this internal rage that's built inside of me because we didn't beat the Cowboys? I felt that we should have beat them, and I needed a hotline. I needed an outlet, and it's there for you 24/7. So, yeah, just remember. And shower thoughts too. We talked about that. You're in the shower. That's when your best thoughts come. All right? So don't worry. The camera doesn't work. We're not going to see anything. We'll just hear something. All right, very good. Was that it? Was Chris the last one, or we got another one?
We've got another one. Change of topic from Tompy.
Oh, all right, Tompy.
Hey, it's Tompy. I'm just wanting to leave voicemail because I feel like Marzu's getting a lot of hate online. I don't really think he deserves it all. I feel like, he had a young guy there. It just didn't work in the first half. There were points of the game which looked a lot better. There was obviously a lot of disappointment and we didn't get the win. But I think we just got to look on the positives that we did end up scoring points. Yeah, it was more towards the end. But if we can start better next week, and just have that confidence again, because we did end up getting those points. So it'll be interesting to see who's picked on Tuesday in the centres, because it shows how much Bradman does. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? And, I don't think Marzu should be getting all the hate.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think he's a bit of an easy target. I honestly think most wingers, you put in Greg Marzu's shoes on the weekend, they're probably going to get shown up a lot. It was just, he was the poor bastard that was stuck on that left edge that was just totally disconnected, like literally across the park. Like, circling back to kind of about what we're talking about, Wilson DeCourcy, like there were defensive deficiencies across the park. I know the left edge was the worst. Taruva scores a hat-trick there. They were just having a field day. Patrick Herbert was just running for days. I think he clocked up nearly 140 run meters in the first half alone. But look, we saw like Appy Coruscant, a really lazy marker defense by Fletcher Hunt. Like, it doesn't get any easier than that. Like, he literally just dives over with not even a hand on him. Again, late in the game, a huge hole. We've seen that a couple of times. Terrell Mace, you could have got a fucking Sid Fogg's bust sideways through that bastard. Strolls over there with ease. Look, it was across the park, but look, is Greg the greatest defender and defensive winger in the league? No, he isn't. He's never has been, and he doesn't claim to be, and we know that. But going back to, I can't remember who the battler was, a caller before. It might have been Nico, saying, look, what he does, his positives far outweigh the negatives. Some of the stuff that he's been giving us of late, back to 2023, Greg, on the ground is just fucking unbelievable. Like this game here, in a team that was dominated, like still managed 135 run meters, 49 post contact, rolling up the sleeves. Yeah, look, it's just unfortunate. There would have been a string of guys in other clubs you would have put in Greg Marzu's shoes, and they would have just struggled just as much. Not to say like that's, there were some poor decision making there, but it was across the board. So just to single him out, I think it was a bit of an easy target, but he'll be better for it because, the weeks leading up to it, he's been great. Don't let this one game just, undo all that, erase your memories of all the great stuff that Greg's been giving us up until then. So, look, he'll be fine. It's going to be very interesting. This is going to, honestly, the upcoming roster review show is probably going to be the biggest one yet, because not only you got what we're thinking, we're getting a lot of mail suggesting Dylan Brown's going to be named tomorrow. Without Braden Best and Dylan Lucas, that left edge, what are we going to do there? Huge decisions to be made there. We obviously don't want a repeat of what we saw this week there. A lot of moving parts. There's Sharp go back to fullback, and you put Fletcher Hunt there and Sandon and Dill Brown playing the halves. There's going to be so many moving parts. But look, not to get too bogged down in that. That's for tomorrow night's show. But I think Greggy's going to be fine. He's just a bit of an easy target this week, I feel. But tell you what, well, let's get into a bit of positivity, battlers, because we're gonna name and award your Titanium Forge Player of the Week, brought to you by LGB Marine, the experts in building resilience on and off the water. Just like the toughest structure they construct, this player this week has been battle tested, unshakable, and built to withstand anything. I think that is such an applicable sentence for this bloke. LGB Marine, strength, precision, resilience. Let's dive into this week's winner. And picking up an absolute multitude of points this week, your Titanium Forge Player of the Week is none other than our boy Phoenix Crossland. Now, this wasn't by any stretch of the imagination a huge highlights package kind of a game for our boy Phoenix. It wasn't it from anyone, but I'll tell you what it was. It was an absolute fucking masterclass of tackling your dick off for 80 minutes, and you're just full pumped up with Titanium. What was the tackle count for our boy Phoenix Crossland in a team that was getting absolutely fucking pizzled? Where's it? 61 tackles, only 4 missed. I think that is fucking resounding. Look, obviously not having had no running game whatsoever, but he couldn't have a running game because he's just constantly making tackles. 61 tackles under that much pressure and only 4 missed. I think it's fucking incredible. That is unbelievable ratio, considering the amount of pressure that we're continually under. And this guy is just proving, like, who would have thought, honestly, cast your minds back 4 or 5 years ago, Phoenix Crossland, who was coming up to be this highly touted, skillful half, he was going to be the future 7. He was going to take the club's halfback spot, and lead the team with some skillful play. But he's turned out to be fucking one of the toughest bastards in our team. Like, we saw the visions of him being the meat and an ass sandwich, and his nose turned into a sausage roll, and continuing to play on with that. And the week after, when it didn't look much better, and to put on this, he's just complete turnaround. Like, what a 180 for Phoenix Crossland. So stoked for him. Like, again, it wasn't a big highlight kind of game, but I tell you what, there'd be so many OG Knight players that would love to have had Phoenix Crossland to go into battle with. He would have seriously got the the nod of approval so many times. So, yeah, good votes there, battlers. So, well, let's keeping up with that. I'm going to give you my Paycat Knighted Players of the Week, brought to you by Paycat, a crew from Newey who know their stuff, whether you're paying the boys on a construction site or trying to sort out that tricky Shads award for your NDIS biz. Paycat make it dead easy. You can run payroll yourself, or you can have the Paycat team do it for you. Either way, you're going to have more time to eat beach jerky and drink game day lager and watch the Newcastle Knights. Now, let's take a look at some blokes who I thought earned their pay this week. And I'm with you, battlers. 3 points. Give it to the Phoenix Crossland. Just some titanium-filled efforts there. 61 tackles, only 4 missed in a game where it was one-sided. Like, it was just one-sided for so long. Huge effort there. 2 points. I'm giving away our boy, Jermaine McEwen. The right edge. The left edge certainly had some issues. Once DeCourcy was put on the bench, was a lot of shifting around. Obviously, we had Dylan Lucas go to centre. Tommy Cant comes in for that left back rower spot. But the right edge, Jermaine McEwen, I think he can hold his head up. This game, Jermaine, stats. What have I got from you, mate? 13 runs, 109 run meters, 50 post contact. He's got the 5 tackle breaks, 43 tackles, 3 missed. He's got the 2 errors, but look, I know he's cleaned it up in recent games. I'm not going to be super critical of this game. I thought he was really good, tough physical player. Let's just hope to God we get a deal done with Jermaine. I really hope that's coming to be. It's going to be one to watch because there'll be a lot of clubs circling Jermaine McEwen. He's just going to get better and better and better. And talking about getting better and better and better, Mr. Cabernet Sauvignon, Mr. 300 and what? 19. He's now closing in. I did see the graphic. He's soon to jump our boy, Robbie O'Davis. Shout out to you, Robbie O. Good friend of the show. What's he going to be, like the 4th or 5th most capped Knights player, which is absolutely incredible for Dane Gagai. Rewarded with a try. The disrespect shown by Jarrell Skelton. Just thinking, I can go passing the ball in the in goal. We've just been so dominant. We're going to do that. An absolute cardinal sin in rugby league football is throwing the ball in the in goal and being rewarded. Backing up from his own kick too. Our boy Dane Gagai. So winding back the clock. I tell you what, I know we got some young throbber centers coming through, but who's with me? Let me know. Do you want to see one more year? One more year. Do we want to do the John Farnham where we just extend this farewell tour just a little longer? Just a little longer. Loving what we're getting from Dane Gagai. So, in a team that was convincingly bested. I thought he was rather good. What have we got here from Gags? 21 runs, 157, which I think might have been the most for the game. 50 post contacts, got the 8 tackle breaks there, line break assist, 3 offloads, 16 tackles, 2 missed. Got the 1 kick there, which led to a try. So, Dane gets my 1 point this week. So, the boys on the right edge getting some stuff done there. Now, look, I do want to touch base on our boy quickly, Fletcher Hunt. Now, look, he didn't do a great job at market defense there with Appy Coruscant, but look, rewarded the aerial threat that is Fletcher Hunt. Shout out to him, jumping all over Jareem Buller, rewarded with a try. I think that was that set the tone for the late comeback, I guess you could call it, the late Kim Kardashian comeback story for the Newcastle Knights. Just good to see him rewarded with that. It was a game where he just didn't get many opportunities. Fletcher Hunt, he didn't do a whole heap wrong, I thought. It's just, one of those games. He's one of the young guys in the team. And when you got leaders in the team that sort of aren't stepping up, it's hard to expect guys like him to do so. It's just going to be very interesting. He's going to be one of the big stories in tomorrow night's show. Where we put him, I'm just going to say now, I hope we just leave him at fullback. We got the dynamic halves pairing. I think we just let him cook. I think we just do that. I think we're at a point now where we're sick and tired of changing halves and, all this. They're out. Dill and Razor are our halves. Let's just let it sit. Fletcher Hunt's done nothing wrong. Let's just leave him there. Keep him cooking. Back up, fullback kind of areas. So, anyways, getting ahead of myself there. But look, there's really not too much else to talk about with anyone else. I don't want to sit here and poo-poo everyone. I'm not about that. It's just we're just going to everyone summed it up beautifully in the United hotline. Everyone's not getting too emotional, because what do we say here at the United? When emotions are high, intelligence is low, and no one's emotional. Everyone's on board. All right, we're sticking up for our boy Wilson DeCourcy. He's going to bounce back. He's going to learn plenty in Cup. All right, he's raw. He's going to be good for it. He's going to be good for it. And shout out to Justin Holbrook. Now, look, hindsight's 2020. Hindsight's 2020. We can't change that. But I thought for him, it shouldn't be looked as a negative to get him off the field. It would have done his confidence no good leaving him out there. It would have eroded all the confidence in the poor bloke. So had to come off. It is what it is there. You live and learn. He'll be better for it. So, yeah, Battlers, I'm proud of you, Battlers. I'm seriously proud that we're not sitting here kicking stones down the dump, smashing the panic button. We're just chalking it up to one of those things, a bit of a learning curve. We're going to be better for it. This playing group is learning under the Justin Holbrook era, and we're going to be okay. We all feel it. We all know it. We're all sensing it deep down in our waters that we're going to be okay. We just Justin Holbrook. We're all buying what he's selling. He's a great salesman and a great coach, because we're just eating up whatever he's given us. So good stuff. Good. How did we honestly come out of this review, Lou, feeling pretty good?
Breath of fresh air, a breath of saged air.
The sage did help. The sage does smell fucking good, Battlers.
It's quite calming.
It is very calming. Maybe it's that. Maybe I just need to get high on sage more. Can you get high on sage? Maybe I've proven you can.
We felt pretty good after the last staging of the bar. So.
Oh, shit, yeah. I think some of my jerseys on the racky still smell of sage, which isn't a bad thing. But keep that chant going, Battlers. We want to fuck that bloody injury curse right off out of here. We're in that, like, the great Knights hooker curse kind of areas again. We don't want that shit anywhere near us at the moment. Gone through enough heartache at our club. Don't need that shit laid on top. Very good. I think everyone's feeling better. Is that what the chat's is that the vibe you're getting, Lou? I hope no one's getting too negative. Or they're just, people aren't sitting there going, they want me to slam this player on the stream and just rip him a new one, because it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. We're better than that. We're better than that.
At the end of the day, we are still a chance at the premiership because we haven't given up 50.
Fucking oath. We could be worse. Could be Parramatta. You could have leaked 50 points twice. And you leaked 50 points to a team that got done by 50 points. Has that ever happened before? Has a team got beaten by 50 by a team that's conceded 50 in the same season? Parramatta breaking all kinds of records. So, yes, it could be worse. It could be much worse. So, bit of dose of perspective. That was the word, seriously, Lou. It took me so long to find that word in my vocabulary the other night. Oh, it was on the tip of my tongue. I just couldn't quite figure out what it was. We even had to get bloody chat GTP on it, go, what the fuck is this word? Try and get it out of my mouth, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. So, good stuff, Battlers. Good stuff. All right, let's do it. Let's answer some burning questions.
Burning questions.
All right, what do we got?
All right, first one's a voicemail from Adam.
Adam.
Lincoln and fellow battlers. This is a disappointing loss, yes, but I'm more disappointed in the way some people on social media are treating DeCourcy and what they're saying about him. He's a young player, a development player. People need to give him a break and give him a chance. He's a good kid and a good player. Next question, Lincoln. How the hell are we going to fit Ponga in when we have to upgrade Sharp? What are we going to do with Stan and Smith? What are we going to do about Ponga's long-term future? That's a really hard one. What are Newcastle going to do? I wonder, because it's going to be really hard to try and keep Stan and Smith happy if he's not playing halfback.
Great call. Great call. Who was that?
That was from Adam.
Adam. Good call, Adam. First of all, yes, on Wilson DeCourcy, you should never say something online to someone about someone what you're not willing to say to them face to face. That's what I'll say there. You know, if you're not willing to say that right in front of them, word by word, don't post it.
Some of the hate that I've seen you get in your mail, I'd love to see people come up to your face and say.
Do it. I love it. It fuels me. Gives me energy. I love that shit. We had some people coming at me in the Knights Watch, and you were telling me they got fucking pizzle too. So cheers for that. But yeah, I got thick skin. I don't give a shit. But yeah, you're right. Cast your minds back when you were 20 years old, or if there's some young battlers listening to this at the moment, so 20-year-olds. Here's a guy who's sacrificed a lot to get to this point. He's not a bum. You don't stroll into a first grade team just being some random dude. It's like, do your best. The guy's a weapon. Anyone you talk to watches New South Wales Cup, the guy has got huge ceiling on him. We know what he's capable of becoming. So he'll be better for it. There's no need to tear down a 20-year-old bloke. I'll say I reached out to Wilson, shot him a message. He said, look, he appreciated the message I sent him. And I said, look, mate, I'm going to go in the bat for you, mate, truly. And I'm so pleased we've got so many voicemails echoing the same sentiments. So good on you, Adam, for that. And the rest of you guys who called in and saying that very same thing. Now, look, regarding Kalen Ponga, I kind of feel when you look at what the Melbourne Storm have done, they just sort of heavily invested in their spine players for so long, and it paid huge dividends. Going back to whether it was Slater, Cronk, Smith, or at the moment, Grant, Munster, Hughes, and Pappy. I know at the moment they're going a bit busted, but historically you would say the Storm have put together for the last 20 years the most consistently strong performing teams that there are. And they put their money on the players that touch the ball the most. We might be going down that route. We could be going down that route. So, look, it's going to be very interesting. You guys let me know, drop in the comments, what would Fletcher Sharp be worth on the open market right now? I know it's going to be inflated because you've got two new clubs in the Perth Bears and the PNG Chiefs coming in, so that's going to bump that price way up. But I'm not going to be too perturbed, if we do heavily invest in those spine plays. I know everyone at the moment kind of thinks the Knights have no money just because Dill Brands are 1.3, which is crazy. But yeah, look, I think it'll be all right, mate. I certainly think we could keep paying Ponga what he's on and still be relatively comfortable. We played a bit of money ball, guys like Kai Pearce, Paul now, moving them on. Look at the young guys that are coming through. Like that's been obviously the blueprint for the Panthers is just this next man in, plug in, do a job. And we've seen, look at the pathways. We read it out. Was it on last show, Lou, or the one before on the Night of News? Matt's, SG Ball, Lisa Fiola, all of them making semis. So, the proverbial fruit that we're bearing from our pathway system are looking pretty darn good too. So I think we'll squeeze them all in, mate. I'm not too concerned. And when you got Peter O'Sullivan at the helm, a very good operator, put together some very handy rosters. You look at kind of what he did at the Warriors before he departed for the Dolphins. Well, I think the seeds have both been planted for those clubs to have some pretty good success. I know the Dolphins at the moment aren't going to crash up, but considering the roster, how quickly he put them together, and look at the Wars have never been better. And I think you can go back to what Peter O'Sullivan, sort of the foundations he laid, 5 or so years ago, has really helped them out as well. So I think we'll be all right, mate. Don't stress. I'm confident that we'll make it all work. And if we can retain all those boys, those spine players for sure.
Christopher's asked, burning question, who in the current squad do you think will be the first player to play 300 games for the club?
Ooh, fuck, that's a good question. That's a great question. Okay. The immediate thoughts, Fletcher Sharp, because he's still young. If that's Sage, and keep those chants coming, bless him. If he doesn't get any PCLs or anything crazy like that, he would have to be the top of the list. He just screams of a one club, Cessnock boy. He ain't going anywhere. Knights through and through. I'd have to say Fletcher Sharp would be my, if I had to guess. Second one might be, I'll go second would be Brady Best. Brady Best is on his way. I can't see Bradman ever playing for another club. So give me those two boys.
All right. We've got a voicemail from Brandon.
Hey, Link and Lou. Hopefully you guys are feeling better after yesterday's loss. I think Newcastle just didn't start well and missed the jump. And by the time the end of the first half, I think it was hard to come back. And unfortunately, was at the game live, and
Oh.
yeah, it was a bit upsetting being on the hill watching it, and they just kept scoring and scoring and
Oh,
scoring. But
Brandon.
didn't feel too bad after the game because we did get those couple tries at the end and made the score look less flattering. But I wouldn't make any wholesale changes to the team. Probably just have a replacement left now. I don't know who I'd go for, but wouldn't make any wholesale changes, wouldn't panic or anything. What do you guys think? And my question is, who in the current Newcastle Knights squad do you think could be successful in another worldly sport?
Ooh, good. I like that. Keep these kind of questions coming. I like this. All right, it's a bit of a two-parter. Wholesale changes, no, absolutely not. I think I'm hoping we leave Fletcher Hunt at fullback. Just get Razor and Dylan Brown playing more football together. The more football and the more we can let that combination build and marinate, the better. And then you get KP coming in on the back of that. Sign me up for that. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I think someone like a James Schiller, by all accounts, doing quite a good job in Cup. You got Kyle McCarthy. There's a couple of names. If you just want a specialist center, just plug them in. I'm thinking Tommy Camp probably comes into play in that back row spot, if that's what Justin Holbrook sort of pulled the trigger on to get him in off the bench. That would be my guess, because we haven't seen a lot of Tommy Camp. He's sort of been a bit not played poorly by any stretch. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but he had a couple of really good, strong games and tried really well. So, hopefully giving him the opportunity to start, we'll get the best out of him too. So, now a Knights player that would do exceedingly well in another sport. The first guy that comes to mind is Fletcher Sharp, because he just, from all accounts, it doesn't matter what he plays. It doesn't matter what sport he would play. He just would excel at. He's just, you know what I mean? He's just one of those guys. And I think there was something, wasn't he like a bloody good cricketer or a golfer?
Tony just said Fletcher Sharp was a tremendous cricketer.
It was yeah. So he seems like the very obvious answer, and it would just be whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do bobsled, go nuts. He'll win gold for you. He wants to do figure skating. He'll fucking crush it. Whatever the next Winter Olympics is. Oh, could you imagine Fletcher Sharp as a figure skater? That would be, what a fucking sight. That would be red and blue. What do you call them? Like a
leotard?
Leotard.
The mullet
The
flying?
fucking, sign me up for a bit of Fletcher Sharp figure skating. When's the next Winter Olympics? Maybe once post. We don't want him to go away for that. But look, yeah, give me Fletcher Sharp as a figure skater. Sign me up. That'd be fucking awesome.
John Wick said Dom Young for basketball.
I was literally just, that was on the tip of my tongue. I was thinking Dom would probably go pretty hard at basketball. Yeah. I wonder how he would go in AFL too, Dom. He's got like the big rangy figure for it too. So
yeah, he'd do well there.
He's probably not a bad AFL player either, Dom. Yep. Good question. Keep them. I like those ones. Don't have to think too hard.
John Wick asks, who are we going to replace Dylan Lucas with? Is there anyone that can?
Yeah. Oh, not really. Not with the tremendous upside that Lucas brings. I'm thinking you're just going to try and you're just going to want to bring someone in who's just going to be defensively sound. Yeah. There's no one in the roster at the moment that's going to give you that attacking upside Dylan Lucas gives you. I think it's going to be Tommy Camp. He was rewarded with that contract extension, so clearly doing some good stuff. Perth Bears were desperate to get their hands on him. He showed faith to the club, re-signed with us. So I think you'll find probably Tommy Camp, mate. If I had to guess, I think we got a little bit of a glimpse as to what the plan might be during this game. So lock in Tommy. Tommy's going to get the job done.
All right, here's the voicemail from Wilmer again. I accidentally deleted his other one because he called a few times in. So
really?
It all got a bit
couldn't get
confusing.
enough.
So here's Wilmer's.
All right.
G'day, Link and Lou. It's Wilmer again, just for the burning questions. The next 5 games, I dare say, will solidify our season. I dare say. I know it's early, but still, we're getting into that part of the season, and we're going up against we got Penrith, Roosters. Who else was it? Souths, Dragons, and Titans. I think we need to win. I dare say at least 3 of those 5 games. What do you guys think our chances? And I know we're all positive at the United, but realistically, what do we think? They say Ponga might be back for Souths. I reckon he'll probably be back for the Dragons game. And yeah, I know it's only a loss, a second loss of the season, but I don't know why. I'm just absolutely shit my pants now. I hope the boys haven't lost the confidence to going forward.
Nah, they haven't, mate. The Wars comfortably beat us at home, and we bounced back with a great performance against the Bulldogs. So don't stress. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. The next 5 games. So we play the Roosters away, the Panthers at home, Souths at home. Then we're away against the Dragons and Magic round against the Titans. The Roosters finding a bit of form, overcome a 16-point deficit against the Sharks over in Perth. That's going to be a big game. That is going to be a monster game. Starting to find their groove. They're starting to click a little bit more. Obviously, DCE coming to town, that a little bit unsettled, but they're starting to find their feet a little bit, which is a little bit concerning. Down in Sydney as well. Going to be a tough game. The Panthers, fucking hell. I know the Bulldogs beat them, but oh man, you just can never be confident against the Panthers. Like that is going to be a tough game in that Anzac round weekend. Souths, got beaten by the Raiders. They got plenty of points in them. Very similar to kind of like the West Tigers, I guess. Very good roster, stacked, dangerous backs as well. That'll be a tough one. Dragons, I'm more than confident we can put to bed quite comfortably. I'm not too concerned with the Dragons. I think their roster is just really, really bad. I don't know where they're going to get their points from. And the Titans, we're going to pump the Titans. I'm going to be so excited to pump the Titans at Magic Round when they're in their new Gold Coast Chargers heritage kit. How good is that going to be? Every time we see that jersey, we're going to be reminded of beating them at Magic Round again. And they're going to still come crying to us saying, Brian Kelly didn't knock the ball on. Bullshit, he didn't. Looking at you, Clarkey, telling me he's fucking hasn't knocked the ball on. Anyways, I think you're right. We do need to win 3 of those games. I think the last 3, in degrees of difficulty, obviously Penrith being the hardest, I think then the next bracket down is going to be Roosters, Rabbitohs, and then Dragons, Titans. I think we can get the Dragons. We're going to get the Titans. Lock those 2 in. Then we're gonna get a win against South. Kalen Pong is going to make his triumphant return. We're going to have a really good game against the Panthers, but we're going to get one on Souths. So, but who knows? We could turn up for the Roosters. We could have a massive bounce back game. So it is because then we roll into the bye. Then we're in Origin territory. Then so. Yeah, good call. But I think we'll be all right. We've shown enough, and Dill Brown, by all accounts, back this week is huge for us. So could be the difference in a lot of those games. So going to be interesting.
Matthew asked, if the world was going to end tomorrow, which Newcastle Knights player would you want by your side?
Shit, the world was going to end. Fuck, is that like? You reckon that's current or any?
I know what you're going to say if you say any.
If you're going to go out in the biggest way possible, you're going to do it with the immortal. You're just going to go, Joey, fucking embrace me. Let's just go out together.
Screw you, Louise. Give me Joey.
Yeah, just see ya. I'm going with Joey. That'd have to be the way you go out. But if it's a current player, you know what? I would just hold Kalen dearly, thank him for everything he's done. As he wears that Dally M medal as the world fucking sets ablaze, and that'd be it. And I just want to hope my last thought was a good one with Kalen Ponga. There you go. That's my answer. What about you, Lou? Who would you go? Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on.
Oh, sorry.
What was that?
If it was anyone, I'd probably go Joey, like you.
Yeah.
Because he'd be there with all the wisdom.
Mm.
Have some good words to say. Either happen. Yeah, probably Ponga.
KP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got that captain
Just-
mentality.
Just
and-
relax, you. Nothing
Yeah.
too. You'd be
Burn
pretty
the-
chilled.
Burn the sage.
Yeah, you'd be
More
like,
words of
you'd be like,
wisdom.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, true. You wouldn't panic. You wouldn't be like getting in a bother. You'd be like, oh, well.
Oh, I'd be panicking.
Nah, he'd just calm you. You'd be fine. Put the headgear on. You'd be fine.
All right, we've got a voicemail from John.
John, hit me.
Hello, Lincoln. Question. As Connor Watson is now on the market, could he be a good fit back at Newcastle? Might keep Ponga happy as well, having his little buddy back in town.
Little buddy.
Little Woody.
Thanks, John. Yeah, Connor Watson told he's free to negotiate with other clubs. Nah, look, if we're going to be honest, mate, we got Sand on now. Connor Watson, representative level player. He's obviously playing for the Blues now. He's going to command a pretty penny. Yeah, look, I'm more than happy with what we got, mate. With Harrison Graham at the moment playing good footy, he's not breaking the bank whatsoever on a development deal. Same with Sandon. Yeah, I know everyone would love the KP and Connor Watson reunion tour, but yeah, the money he's going to be thrown at. And he had flashes of brilliance with us. It just was never consistent. I know he had some injury concerns with us, but he's certainly taken it to another level since returning back to the Roosters under Trent Robertson. But yeah, look, another club's going to throw a pretty penny at him. And yeah, I don't think he'll be a utility. He won't be used as a utility. He'll be a starter somewhere else, and we can't offer him that, mate. So good question, but respectfully, no to Connor Watson. Your time at Newcastle is done. Let's just leave it in the past.
Going back to having a player being the end of the world, Mike's made a good point. Does it have to be a man? If not, Yazzie for sure.
Oh yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, look, she's my favorite NRLW player. She'd just be straight. Yeah, she'd be pretty cool, calm and collected, I'd feel. It'd just be yeah, that's a very good valid argument. I'll take Yazzie. If it had to be one of our NRLW players, it's going to be Yaz. Yeah, good friend of the show. Shout out Yazzie.
Justin asks, if we were to pick players for a Knights bobsled team, who are you picking?
Oh shit. Okay. Well, the first one, you're going to go Dom Young, being Jamaican. He's got a head start on everyone else. You're going to get Dom Young in there. You're going to have Fletcher Sharp because he's just a gun at everything he does. So give me Fletcher Sharp. You're going to want some boys pushing that fucking sled so quickly and so powerfully. You're going to want Greg Marzu and Bradman Best. That's your team. You're going to have Fletcher Sharp. He's going to be steering it. He's just a little guy at the front.
Flying.
Fucking oath. Fly in the background. Then you're just going to have, Dom, because he's the Jamaican. Cool runnings. If you haven't watched it, what are you doing? You're going to
Kiss my egg.
You can kiss my egg. You're gonna have Dom Young and then you have Brady Best and Greggy Marzu, and that thing is gonna be a fucking missile. Lock that in, 100%. Fuck, it'd have to be a big bobsled, big wide. Like, imagine trying to squeeze those quads into that. It'd be a huge bobsled. Yeah, that's it, 100%. That is a gold-winning bobsled team every day of the week.
So we have a bobsled team.
Yep.
They'll ask, with development deals with Harrison, is there a certain number of games they're allowed to play in the year?
That's a good question. I wish I had the answer. I think that, can't they just play? I don't think there is. If someone comment away, apologies if I've got that wrong. Someone's probably screaming at their speakers now saying, no, it's this, but I don't believe so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the intricacies around the development deals. And what that means entirely. I haven't heard anything about it, so I'm going to say no, but I could be completely wrong on that one. So you let me know.
All right, last one from Troy. Who would you follow in the NRL if it wasn't the Knights?
My head's saying the Raiders because I was born in Canberra and I got My brother goes for Canberra. I see a lot of synergy. It'd probably be Canberra, but I feel like in another life, I'd be a Warriors supporter. I feel like I just fit that vibe of a Warriors supporter. There's just something in them. I just resonate with them. They're just, I don't know. If you haven't ever gone to New Zealand and watched a rugby league game, please go and do it one time. It is fucking awesome. I've done it on more than one occasion. It's just a different vibe. It's fucking awesome. It's great when the Wars are doing well. That would be probably my two. It'd be Canberra first, because I'm a true blue Australian, and that's where I'm from. Originally, that's where I was born, and then in another universe somewhere, there's a link out there with a fucking Warriors podcast out there, and I'd be beloved over in New Zealand. I'd be New Zealand's #1 celebrity.
All done.
All done. Good stuff, Battle. That was a good show. I think we're feeling all right. I'm proud of you. I'm proud no one's getting too hasty. You know, it's all good. We're all good in the hood. No need to panic kind of areas. So make sure if you're watching the live stream, give it a big old thumbs up right now. That's your order. Go do it. All right. The YouTube subs are starting to go up thanks to you guys doing what you're doing. So greatly appreciated there. And wherever you're wasting your time on social media, go find us. TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. I think we just cracked 11K on Instagram. So shout out to everyone jumping on board on that. 30K on Facebook. Wow. We've got more Facebook followers than what you could fit in Mac Jones Stadium. Can you fucking believe that?
That's crazy when you put it that way.
Wild. So good stuff there. And leave us a big old 5-star review if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It goes a long, long way to help us out here, and that grows the viewership, listenership, helps us, keeps our sponsors happy, allows us to get more sponsorship and the rest of it. So greatly appreciate if you could do that for us, Battlers. But yeah, huge show tomorrow night. What are we going to name? Who's going to be named where? Are we going to see Dylan Brown make his triumphant return? What's the shuffling of the decks going to be like for the Newcastle Knights? Well, stay tuned for the roster review show.
Before you finish, Lincoln, Carly said Google search says no limit on games for development players.
There you go. Carly coming in clutch at the last moment. Love it, Carly. There you go. I wouldn't have slept all night hadn't you dropped that in there for me, so I appreciate that. True OG, Carly. Good stuff. 10 points to you. 10 points. Fuck it, 20. All right. Now we're getting the Adam O'Brien out of here, Battlers. We will see you tomorrow night for the roster review show. See you then.